He's just learning to deal with his mommy not being there. He had already been stripped of his royal title. That's what they say, formerly Prince Andrew, because his older brother Charles, as soon as their mom died, Charles got into a real go f yourself mentality. And I am 100% here for it. I love it. Arrested. We have live now from Fox. I don't want to watch that. NBC News. Oh, finally, Megyn Kelly. People forget Megyn Kelly. Charlize Theron played her in a movie in 2019. It was called Bombshell. It got Oscar nominations. It's a piece of absolute dog. It's like a Me Too movie about Fox News. And you just watch it now and you're like, well, I mean, all of these people, you know, deserved worse. All right, CBS Mornings, News Nation. Let's watch News Nation. Why is this not making noise? Oh, because that's turned off.
Well, again, I mean, Paula, this broke just minutes before we went live this morning. You've got sources all over the world. Is anybody giving you more information as to what exactly?
First, I'm a big fan of looking at faces of other people in Zoom calls when they're not talking, just to sort of like vacant, like smile. This woman's terrified. She's being watched by upwards of 30 people.
Information led to his arrest?
Absolutely. So let's also point out that this was the former Prince Andrew's 66th birthday. So
I didn't know that. They got his ass on his birthday. That rocks, dude. It wouldn't be his first, but he's just learning to deal with his mommy not being there. He had already been stripped of his royal title. That's what they say, formerly Prince Andrew, because his older brother Charles, as soon as their mom died, Charles got into a real go fuck yourself mentality. And I am 100% here for it. I love it.
Of a birthday treat. And what they're really looking at, it's kind of like Al Capone. They didn't get him on murder, they got him on taxes. They are looking specifically at...
First off, that is a hat. Look at that. I didn't even realize Jeffrey Epstein was right there in the fucking hat. Holy shit. Fucking look at that guy. It is unfortunate for the world. Jeffrey Epstein, bad guy. Bad guy. The rapist formerly known as Prince. Good one. They're going to laugh out of me. As far as I know, Prince never in the Epstein files. Part of that is that Prince was like 5'4". So if he a kid, it was just considered, you know, consensual. That's what it was. Look at that stupid hat. Dick Van Dyke is the only guy who can pull off a top hat. Dick Van Dyke, two things. A, Dick Van Dyke from Danville, Illinois, the same town that my mom is from. Coincidence? Did my mom fuck Dick Van Dyke? Is he somewhere around the area of 40 years older than her? We don't know. We can never know. There's no search to find out how old Dick Van Dyke is. Secondly, was he a pedophile? No, he was a Bernie guy. That's true. No socialist has ever been a pedophile. That's how that works. Does it sound better if I talk into like the side of it here? I think it does. Anyway, I can't. He is a good dick. He is a good dick. Let me tell you something. It's not a Mary Poppins party without some dyke dick. That's clever.
Former Prince Andrew's correspondence with Epstein about...
It looks like Epstein's busting in his pants in this photo. Here's the thing. Here's the thing about Jeffrey Epstein, man. Bad guy. He knew how to have fun. Every photo of him, he is vibing. He's doing great. That's why I fundamentally believe he didn't kill himself. Not, you know, all the stupid coincidences and the fact that the cameras went out and they had different guards and blah, 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 blah. No, I think he didn't kill himself just because he was smiling too much. That's a happy guy.
During the time he was a trade person for England. And, you know, he gave very confidential documents over the email to this. So to Epstein, his very good friend.
So he sent confidential emails or some bullshit. Who gives a f? It doesn't actually matter. It just simply matters that he is being punished. It's about the dam breaking. Exactly what it's for isn't the big deal. The point is, it's been established that even if you're powerful, and honestly, he wasn't that powerful. Even when he was in the royal family, you know, he's just the royals. They keep him around. They say hi to him. They wave at them every now and then, but they don't actually like do shit.
It's illegal. It's not allowed to be done. It's the same thing that they're looking at Peter Mandelson for. Now, they are not yet looking at him.
They've only got 2 pictures. They just keep going back and forth between them. Get a 3rd picture. I don't give a shit. Make it with AI. AI's bad, but so are these people. So, you know, it kind of works out.
Possible sex trafficking charges. However, what's also interesting is a brother of a monarch has not been arrested for 548
There we
years,
go.
not
New,
since Edward IV.
sir, a
I
new
was gonna
picture is
ask,
hitting the
we've never
timeline.
Seen this before? A member of the royal family getting arrested.
Yeah, apparently the last time it happened, they're saying 148 years ago. I think it was even longer than that. It was like 160 some years ago. It was the British Civil War. It was Charles I. They're saying Edward's IV. They probably know more than me. I don't really know or care, but it was a long ass time ago, and they were in the middle of a civil war. Okay, this is the first time, people are writing this down, the first time that a powerful person has thought maybe it was a bad idea to fuck a kid. Every moment up to this point, they've been like, damn, that was cool. That was a lot of fun, man. It was great. That was the old Louis C.K. joke when he'd be like, kids must be great. Because, like, they kill you for it and people still do it. You know? I sometimes wonder about that. Because I think, you know, like really nice wine or something, I'm like, is really nice wine actually good? Or do rich people just buy it because it's expensive? Like, is it really fun to f a kid? Or do people just do it because they're so powerful they can get away with it? Well, not anymore, buddy. Hey, if you're one of the thousands upon thousands of child rapists listed in the Epstein list, there is a 0.0000001% chance that you will briefly spend an afternoon filling out paperwork at a police station. So be careful.
In such a way.
Not since Edward IV had his brother George, Duke of Clarence, charged with treason. So here's the deal, Marky. This is huge, and we also.
That, by the way, is an interesting fact. Their last name is Windsor. I always wonder that, like, what's, you know, Charles's last name? It's Windsor, Charles Windsor. But it's Mountbatten Windsor. I don't know, some dumb old, like, we must tie the bloodlines together kind of. He is in custody on suspicion of misconduct in public office. Interesting.
Knew it was coming. Several reasons. One, because the monarchy was massively under fire in England. People are furious. They are, you know, there was a lot of talk of, oh, if you're royal, you can't be touched. You can do anything. And they're showing today that no, in fact, you can't. Now, the other thing to take into matter is that the Labour government in England is also under fire. So really actions had to be taken.
And Paula, I don't know about you, but I was a little surprised that we've already heard from King Charles on this. I mean,
did we? Listen, this whole thing, the whole Epstein thing, is actually a cover-up for Charles's weird sausage fingers. That's what he doesn't want you talking about. King Charles sausage fingers. You guys know what I'm talking about? Look at these. This is not a healthy man. This was him. Oh, damn. Yeah, look at that. That is not good. That is not a good dick. That is bad. Experts suggest the puffy appearance could be caused by edema, often seen in people over 65, or chronic conditions like arthritis or, some other. Interesting. The nickname was coined by King Charles himself in a 1982 letter to a friend regarding the birth of Prince William, noting the son had, quote, sausage fingers just like his own. Anyway, Prince Charles doesn't want you to see this. That's why he made up Epstein, who was not real. He was a fake guy.
so often the palace has been known for staying pretty tight-lipped or never even addressing things that the general public is very fascinated by. Were you taken aback by the fact that King Charles has already weighed in, saying that the law must take its course?
Yeah, no, I wasn't, because if you're going to arrest the king's brother on the king's property, you have to let the king know. And so he knew.
It'd be cool if they got SEAL Team 6 to do it. like didn't tell King Charles and just they busted in, like very similar when they killed Osama bin Laden. They also didn't tell King Charles, who at the time was Prince Charles. And listen, is it a fact that Osama bin Laden and former Queen Elizabeth, now burning in hell, were Highlanders? We don't know. We can never know. King Charles said, excuse me, let me state clearly, the law must take its course. As this process continues, so I talk, King Charles, I'm very low class. How would he actually talk? Let me state clearly, the law must take its course. As this process continues, it would not be right for me to comment further on this matter. Meanwhile, my family and I will continue on our duty and service to you all. What's your service, bitch? King Charles, you're a bitch. What's your service? You just like get pictures taken of you looking weird, you know? At least your dumb son, the one who came to America and, you know, got some of that brown sugar, if you know what I'm saying. He married Meghan Markle, I believe is her name. And they got married, and then for a while, this is another one of those signs. Okay, so maybe I'm off base about this, but you remember a few years back, it was when Prince Harry, the ginger one, married Meghan Markle, and then they moved to America, and they like, you know, abandoned the throne, or he's like, I'm getting rid of all my, you know, royal titles and shit, and I'm just quote unquote a commoner. And like for a while, right-wing media here in America was really pissed at Meghan Markle, and they do their stories about like, she's ungrateful, she's a piece of shit, blah, 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 blah. And it makes you realize how inorganic these movements are. Because like Americans don't really give a shit about the royal family. Maybe they kind of do. Like Princess Diana, they cared about a little bit. And some people like cried when she died. I don't know. Maybe it seems to me a very European thing to be mad at her for that. It's similar to how I've talked about before, the right-wing obsession with specific nationalities. Like Somalia, which is not how Americans talk at all. Like the right wing, the consumers of right wing, let me be clear. That's how I should say. Let me state clearly, the law must take its course. As this process continues, it would not be right for me to comment further on this matter. I can't just comment on this matter as this process continues. Meanwhile, my family and I will continue in our duty and service to you all. Allahu Akbar. Yeah, the right wing, like you will never hear a right winger, an actual dyed-in-the-wool right winger, which is to say someone with severe cognitive problems. They would never say F Somalians. I mean, like maybe some would now because they just respond to their media, but they go no. They go F black people. That would be their position. They don't get into nationality. They don't know countries in Africa. Okay, the average right winger maybe knows one country in Africa if they've put together that Somalia is a country. They might just think it's another racial slur. And they're like, cool, we got another one. Hell yeah. I've been waiting. Listen, guys, I've called this meeting here. Listen, before we get started with rehearsals for the Kid Rock tribute band, let's first talk. They know South Africa. That's easy. I'm literally not sure they even do. You don't know how stupid these people are. God damn. Maybe they do. And then they would just scream the N-word and you go, yes, Niger, that's one of them. And they go, yeah, I got it. Here's a good one. How many countries are in Africa? How many can I name? All right. How many countries are in Africa? Okay, 54. All right, I'm not going to get that many. But Somalia, South Africa, Nigeria, it's a separate one, right? Ghana. Is Madagascar a country? Did I already say South Africa? Kenya, Ethiopia, Finland, China, Japan, Dirty Knees, Lesotho. Did I already say Libya? I'm relatively sure Libya is in Africa. Did I say Congo? Democratic Republic of the Congo? Yeah, I don't know. Probably some other ones too. They're doing civil wars over there all the time. How many countries in Africa? They've got them all right here. Look at this map. How many people don't realize is actually a southern U.S. Egypt? Oh, I didn't say Egypt. God damn it, I forgot it. Egypt's a big one. Libya, Algeria, Mali, Morocco. Morocco's one. And then Madagascar's one. Senegal, Gambia, Papua New Guinea, Sierra Leone. I should have gotten that one. Cote d'Ivoire. I didn't realize that one. Nigeria, Democratic Republic of the Congo, and Congo. Those are two separate ones. What about Hotel Rwanda? I think Rwanda is a city. Let's check that out. Rwanda. It is a country in East Africa. Sometimes this is a fun game I like to play, where you go to Expedia and see how much a vacation to a place would cost. Let's go to this, Expedia.com. All right. Let's say I want to go to Rwanda. What if there is a hotel in Rwanda, but ironically, it's a hotel for dogs? You ever think about that? I think about it all the time. All right, if you want to go to KGL, Kigali International Airport, and you want to go next weekend, see what your options are. Okay. Well, this is a stay. I want I think not bad for hotels in Rwanda. No, I am looking for a whole, I want to, got it. Yes, shut up. I want to know how much the ticket costs, the flight and everything, the packages. Airbus goes to Rwanda. Yeah, Megabus goes to Rwanda, actually. Packages. All right, so I'm going to stay. I'm going to go to Chicago. I'm going to Rwanda. All right. So the earliest I can get out there is Saturday, March 7th. So I have to spend a little more time not in Rwanda, unfortunately. Oh, that's Air Bud goes to Rwanda. What if that was a movie? All expenses paid trip to the slums of India. It costs a lot to fly to India. All right. I mean, not that bad. If you want to stay at a Marriott, which is there, $1,664 per person. All right. What's the cheapest? Sort by price, low to high. What's a real in Rwanda? Rustic home B&B. I mean, $1,500, not bad. Kilgary Blight Home and Hotel. The nearest home. Sleep to Greenhaven apartment. Why you come to Rwanda? Let's go all in on Kenya. We go to Velvet Villas. Let's see what this looks like. All right. I mean, it's a place to stay in Rwanda. New G&M stays. All right, what's the most expensive? Let's check that out. Price high to low. This is about politics. We're doing politics right now. Hemingway, I mean, not that huge of a difference between lowest and highest. The Hemingway Retreat. Kigali. I mean, I bet it would be a relatively cheap vacation, Rwanda. Ireland is actually pretty cheap. I went to Ireland many, many years ago. I'm not Irish at all. Like I said, I'm half British, so we're I used to have a joke in stand-up about it when I'd be like, you know how racist my ancestors were? They enslaved other white people. They didn't, before they even knew about black people, they were like, where'd you go? Did you go to Dublin? Did you go to Cork? Did you go to Cork County? Did you go to Dublin? I went to Dublin. And then the funny thing was, at the time, I thought I was part Irish because I thought my mom was part Irish, and it turns out she was not at all. She's making it. It's a whole thing. But anyway, I was walking around Ireland being like, I'm Irish. Mostly Dublin. When we went all around, Ireland is like the size of, there's not a lot of Ireland, which is ironic because, they are about the size of Massachusetts, but they beat their wives as much as, let me check, Massachusetts. Guys, is Ireland just Massachusetts? You get on a plane, do they fake it and you land in Boston? Anyway, I was walking around Ireland saying something that, as it turns out, was not true, but at the time I believed it. And I'd be like, I'm Irish. I'm Irish. And this guy comes up to me and he goes, you're not Irish. 100 years ago, your country didn't want us. And now you pretend to be us. You come over here. And then he was like, I have a fucking beer tonight. And then we just got drunk together. I caught a Celtics game in Ireland. And I thought, that's suspicious. I was like, Donnie Wahlberg, when did you move to Ireland? He goes, what the deal, bro? What's the fuck? Aaron go bra, bro. Aaron go bra. And then we were just getting drunk. And then as a joke, I was like, do you know Colin Farrell? Like everyone in Ireland knows you. And he goes, yeah, Colin Farrell's a fan of me band now. And then he took out his little like Razor flip phone and showed me photos taken on his phone of him and Colin Farrell together. And I was like, oh shit, you do hang out with Colin Farrell. Wild stuff. I don't know who that guy was. We got very drunk. Temple Bar, that was one of them. Mark Wahlberg was like, hey, can I pray with you real quick? Hey, let me pray. You got to come in here and accept Jesus as your personal Lord and Savior. What's that? You don't? Boop! People might not know that. Mark Wahlberg, when he was a younger man, A, was a musician in the Funky Bunch, and B, brutally attacked a Vietnamese guy. He went to jail for it. He was involved in like gang shit. Mark Wahlberg, for all of his faults, and God knows he has many, he has never denied this. Hi, Lamp. Oh, how do I do this without you? Finally, you're here. How do I do it out with Dougie Jones and with other people that are watching? We're talking about Mark Wahlberg, and much to his credit, okay, Lamp back from multiple things. You need to start an hour later. Well, if I start an hour later, then I have dinner an hour later, okay? I got a steak, guys. I got a nice steak going on right now. Mark Wahlberg, for all of his faults, okay? Hey, Meaty Wind! You could do a mukbang dinner stream. I literally should do that, but get the definition wrong, and I just end up jacking off onto a fillet of fish. I got a steak upstairs right now, ladies and gentlemen. I got it dried, patted down. Then I put some seasoned salt and some garlic pepper on it. And then on one side of it, I put a little paprika chili powder mix, which is crazy. I know you're not supposed to put too much shit on the steak because, like, you ruins this. Shut up. Shut up. Who gives a shit? Shut up. You did the Salt Bay move. Floop, floop, floop. Give it a gentle kiss. Only one came on. If Mark were ever beat an Asian person almost to death. Yes, that's true. So Mark Wahlberg, again, many faults. He has so many faults, but he's always been very honest about this. When he was a young man, he threw a brick at a Vietnamese guy. You're pooping right now? That's disgusting. Come on. How's your poop? How's it? Is it solid? Is it good? Guys, I've been putting a whole banana in my smoothie every morning that I make, which has like flax seeds and chia seeds. I've been BMing like a rock star. Anyway, I keep getting distracted. We're not talking about enough. Enough. It's like a number 3. Is that just diarrhea? No, diarrhea is a number 2. Okay, I'm not essentialist here. If it's coming out the ass, it's a number 2. If it's coming out the penis or where women piss from, which I believe they have some kind of cloaca under their breasts, then it's pee. Mark Wahlberg has admitted that he threw a brick at a Vietnamese guy, blinding him when Mark Wahlberg was like 15 or whatever it was. And then some reporter years later tracked down that Vietnamese guy who apparently, which is two very funny things. The first thing, they were like, hey, so this white guy attacked you. And he goes, does not narrow it down. You have to be way more specific, okay? I was an Asian guy in Boston in the 80s, all right? You think you're going to go, hey, remember when that white guy threw a brick at you? He goes, well, that only happened 6 times, you know, but I haven't been outside much this week. And then they were like, you know, the guy who threw a brick at you was famous, and he had no idea. He was like, no shit. Well, anyway, back to my life sewing, I guess. I don't know why the I haven't gotten out of Boston. God damn. Get the out. If you have to be racist against an Asian, you can be racist against the Japanese. Because I've said before, the British are the most racist people on earth. Absolutely. Not so much like finding the guy that called Sam Cedar a Jew on Twitter. You're right. Yes. That's a great point. Hey, Sam Cedar, you got called a Jew. He goes, oh, who? The Steven Crowder who said I had velveteen rabbit eyes. Looks like their anime soft power didn't work on you. They're trying. They keep trying, but it doesn't work. I argue with people on the internet about politics a lot, so you have no idea how many, like, paragraphs I've written, passion paragraphs I've written out to people with anime profile pictures and been like, dear God, why am I bothering? People are wildly racist. Anyway, guys, we're jumping all around here. Justice was done. Justice was done, and Prince Andrew was in a police station for a small amount of time this afternoon. Will it go any further? Yes. And apparently they Al Caponed him. They couldn't get him on fucking children because, and this is true, that is legal in Great Britain. I think it's bad, but that's, you know, what they do. So they got him on like attaching a classified document to an email or something. They don't around with these classified documents. Come on. Let guys take some classified documents. Let's have fun. So Prince Andrew is going to jail, maybe, possibly.
He was prepped.
Here's a question for the chat, okay? Do you think anyone in America will face actual repercussions for this? I think like 1 or 2 people stepped down from whatever job they had as the head of a talent agency or some shit, but no real issues. What did Lamb say? It's too bad they can't just arrest you for being the product of incest and we could wipe out the royal family in one swoop. That is very correct. We're arresting you for what? Oh, your family tree doesn't fork. That's the reason.
For the